اي اي بارافيزال في اس فالكون جيم اوف ذا
يعني انت لما تقرا في مناهج التعليم تستغرب من هذا الحرص على الحشو اكبر قدر من المعلومات. والطالب نحن نعلم يقينا والمسؤولون عن التعليم يعلمون يقينا انه سينسى المعلومات كلها ليس السنه القادمه بعد الامتحان. بعد الامتحان سينسى المعلومات. طيب لماذا لا نركز على المنهج الذي يبقى معه؟ المنهج هو ما يبقى في ذهنك بعد نسيان المعلومات.
واليوم ثاني نتمنى ما عجبتنيش بدليها.
اذا كان لديك منهج سليم
هذا من نروح للدار الخميس.
يا ضربي دور
انت جيت على ما بانتلكش.
ازعل ما بانتش ما بانت.
روحي ما كنتيش فاضيه ما حتى واحد.
خلي ماما
روحي يا راحت وصلي ماما تروح.
ريحي اسرع.
بنروح لها خدي جاي مريضات من
وش تديري منها؟
أبد قاعد طوال يحسن روحي قاعد تسمعين.
Not contested. It's definitely worse. This time you don't have DK Chen, but you can... This is the type of game that could follow the classic Falcons recipe from a half a year ago, where you're just constricting the enemy team on the map and winning by 1k GPM. Because I think going high ground very early in this one compared to the previous one would be a mistake. I'm not really concerned about your ability to scale and your ability to win later team fights, but I am worried that if you go high ground too early, you could somehow lose a fight against a Storm buyback, for example, or you know, going a little bit too deep, setting yourself up for Omni Slash. Just unnecessary. Just keep winning the map.
Satanic working his way towards the eventual butterfly. They did spot him here, and you can see the scan now coming out from P-Vision. We'll have to get
smoking to run away.
Yeah, this is the state of affairs for the P-Vision side. No one is actually camping up. They might want to take this fight. I know that maybe Gyro isn't nearby, but he is. Satanic, he's going to show himself. Now we'll attempt to run away. Skeeter's trying to wonder if this is a trap of any sort, but they don't have to worry about like black hole, anything like that, as Amara won't find no one who will be able to TP out. So just trying to keep things at bay from the P-Vision side. As they push that top lane, which is the last remaining tier 2 tower.
I'm just looking at Skitter's inventory. Okay, there we go. He swapped it around. He had a backpack BKB instead of wand.
Oh.
There's some efficiency there being lost. Doesn't matter though. Okay, maybe they just go for it. I mean, this is...
Ducalis attempted TP. Ooh, does get out. Very close.
Okay,
and
is this a siege or not? They could just be pushing in the waves and keeping control. They are posing like they want to force something. And, well, Skitter is a little bit timid, but here we go.
And a homing missile right now onto Satanic. Sagging himself from Skeeter. They're going to get the sunlight. There's a lot of damage. There's the false promise on the Satanic at the last moment. And that required very little from Falcons.
Yeah, they used a homing missile and a cookie.
That is insane. And now the high ground attempt, they do not have a healing ward as it's about to run out. They don't have false promise anymore. As Amar jumping in pretty deep, gets the swashbuckle, able to bounce down to the low ground. Skeeter is getting a little bit low as the Mortimer's kisses onto 9 class, but the Fate's Edict will be able to mitigate all of the damage. And now BKB online for Malrine, yeah, for now. And that Aegis, I mean, still 2 minutes to get some Nature's Attendance for Skeeter and maybe have a round 2. But this will buy some time for Satanic to get that butterfly. Does feel like that is certainly not enough.
He needs that and Ags, then maybe.
The Ags does feel... I mean, we saw Chrysalis play it without Ags, which I wanted to talk to you about, because...
I feel like that was a mistake in that game, personally.
It feels like Jug is so hard to play without Ags.
I would agree 100% with that. On a pro level, I think it's almost an essential item every single game, but There's always going to be outliers. I don't think that game was the case.
Spotted along with Snake King. This is going to be a good pick-off for P-Vision.
It's something.
They get a kill. Amar, oh, he's going to take an Omni Slash with the creep from that. It actually bounces back to Amar. Satanic completely snipes him. RNG gods in favor of P-Vision for that particular moment, at least. It's the butterfly at base.
Even the thing is, even if that's not that big of a deal in terms of the overall progression of the game, just a little bit of a morale boost doesn't hurt. Like feeling like you can do something in the game successfully has to be nice. You've genuinely made 0 successful moves for like 15 minutes, and you finally find 2 pickoffs and get your jug to that butterfly. The thing about this game for Jug that's a little bit tricky though is if Oracle is not in a good position at all times and especially if he dies, I think Jug can just get bursted by spells. Even through spin, he can die. There's so much magic damage from the Sand King, there's so much physical damage from the Pango. Kisses are also going to matter, all of it. It adds up. Even though you have 80% magic resist increase, it's still like a lot of the times when you see Jug survive in spin, they get away on like a beat stick of health, right? It's not enough here. There is just so damn much output. Now almost a Satanic for Skeeter. Looking to go to the grand finals by killing P-Vision with their carry.
Man, your puns are on point today.
That's right. I talked to Lacoste earlier. It's that aura. Had a good conversation with him in the green room for about 10 seconds. Then we nodded at each other, and it was that transfer of power that I needed for the day.
Keep it up.
And then he left and never talked to me again.
Yep, that's the Lacoste style. Love the guy.
Shout out to Piran Flax.
500 gold away for the Aghanim Scepter on Amar, and then he's going to go for the Ghost Scepter so he doesn't have to deal with the Omni Slash anymore, which would mean a Nullifier at some point will be needed for Satanic, but of course he has bigger fish to fry. He needs he needs this Aghanim Scepter first.
I mean, for what it's worth, P-Vision aren't losing anymore for a bit. They lost by, I want to say, 500 GPM for a 10-minute stretch. It's kind of flatlined now. Storm is going to get his BKB. Jug is going on his way to that Axe. He's already halfway. You're keeping this afloat. And I think if Falcons could look back on the last 5 minutes of this game, they would feel like they slipped up a little bit because they could have maybe kept this lead growing.
Right.
So in relative terms, this is actually a pretty good 5 minutes for P-Vision that I would consider a clear win. Yes, you are behind, but hope dies last in this game.
Oh, Satanic is spotted. Nice Blade Fury. They're going to continue to pursue, though, as Amar with the Rolling Thunder will eventually catch up. Ducalis is there. Healing Ward placed. They're going to get some more TPs potentially. There's the Omni Slash. So on top of Amar, and a lot of them applied to Amar himself, but the Cookie's going to help him survive. Satanic does get the false promise applied, as no one will try to zip to kill off Amar, but this is not going to be enough mana. Amar, so much shield, so much Lotus, he's going to be able to heal through. No, does end up going down. It's going to be the cost of the Oracle, though, as Malrine. Big hook shot from 9 class. Gets 2 stuck in the cogs. 0 follow-up, though. Truly unfortunate for P-Vision, but ends up being a 1-for-1. There's no one running out of mana, has to get back to base.
It's another good exchange for P-Vision. Sure, it's not an overwhelming win, but it's, again, something. You just keep it alive. You don't have to win a big fight to come back in this game. If you can get even trades or slight victories here and there, we're approaching the point where Juggernaut can start actually becoming scary. The problem for this hero in a lot of the games that we've seen in the last half a year to a year is you kind of, sometimes your power curve is a little weird. Like you can be good in some lanes, then you enter this stage in the mid game where you're like kind of meh. But when you get to 4, 5, 6 items, this hero can be a complete beast. One of the few carries that can also kill a hero like Ench in a matter of seconds, which could matter here. We've seen so many games where Snake King ends up winning the game for his team by just soaking up abilities and not dying. Juggernaut, not a problem. He's going to cut through Ench in a few swings with the Axe, which is now complete.
Yeah, Swift
Scotty
slash
next.
ready. So Malrine has the Ghost Scepter against the Jug. Amar, like we talked about, that's the next item for him. Does Juggernaut have to get, does Satanic have to get the Nullifier, or can the Phoenix actually get it? That could be a potential pickup.
I think the Phoenix one is just too difficult to pull off. Like, you have to be able to be in range for the target that Jug is on. So realistically, he probably needs to get it himself if he sees enough of a problem.
Malrine gonna be able to get the Burrow Strike onto no one, but there's the false promise to keep him alive. And the egg from the low ground, no one will be able to zip away safely. Big slash. Snake King is destroyed, but now Satanic completely isolated from his team. Burrow Strike now right on top of him with the call down to follow, but he still had the Blade Fury. That's doing a lot of damage thanks to the Facet and Skeeter getting gone up by no one. He's dead. And now the Sunray healing everybody up. The Mortimers though, double Burrow Strike, and now Falcons will be able to win the fight in the end. 4 for 2. It looked pretty good for P-Vision, but they just run out of steam at the end.
Finally, an unpredictable fight. I think neither team really understood the state of the fight. They're just going in there, throwing in everything they had. The key difference maker in this fight is Snake King separating himself from the gyro, eating the Omni Slash alone and dying. If he does not create distance from Skitter there, he just dies with Satanic ready. He would have had no target to hit. Look at this replay. So first of all, that rocket flare going to cancel off some blink daggers, and the nice save from Ducalis. But keep your eyes now on the Jug. Gets off the Swift Slash, and then this Omni. If Snay does not get over here and end that Omni, Skitter is dead on the spot as well, and the fight is just over. Now instead, Skitter gets to get all of his output through, and tanking no one for a good amount of time, giving his teammates additional space that was needed. And the kiss is just beautiful now. Good spacing from Crit, getting a lot of impact out there. And the grand prize will be an Aegis, but this one is not going to go to Skeeter unless they kill it slowly. He's not able to take it. Well, they are definitely killing it slowly. This is a Mar out of the pit, so I guess this is deliberately delaying it.
Looks like it.
They want that Aegis on the gyro. And Skitter almost has the Daedalus as well, so big level up for the upcoming fight.
Skeeter will get the goodies. Roche banner as well for Mr. Snake King.
CEO Gyro arriving, taking the credit for all the team's hard work.
Yep. He dies, they win team fight. Good stuff. Satanic looking for the Scotty next. Do you agree with that? Obviously, a very good item, but it feels like in these stages of the game, this item could make or break their potential for the comeback. So these ones are really important.
I would kind of like a refresher, honestly.
Okay.
I think the problem here is that he's going to throw out his Swift Flash and his ult, and then he's going to struggle to stay in the fight after that. So I think refresher would be one option. The other one, you talked about the Nullifier. I think that was an interesting idea as well. Scotty is a very nice all-round item, and perhaps the logic is with this, he gets way more value out of Healing Ward, he gets more value out of Sunray, he gets more value out of the Oracle save, because there's just so much more to get through. But being tankier on Jug doesn't necessarily convert to teamfight wins if you can't kill the heroes while you survive.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried that Falcons are just going to kite him with multiple Ghost Scepters, with Cookie, Glimmer, Force Staff. He needs a way to connect on heroes, and I don't think you can rely on Storm to constantly zip in and find them for you.
Yeah, I think it's not the fact that the Scotty is bad per se, but it's more about you might not be able to get another item this game. Like the game may end.
It's a
with
legit
Falcons
concern
lead right now in this Aegis advantage.
Yeah,
now a refresher for Malrine.
He is so decked out. Very strong right now. I think this is part of the reason why the pros have largely strayed away from Juggernaut. It's just itemization is proving to be a challenge in a lot of games. You're looking at it now and you see Satanic is rich and can buy all the stuff in the world, and you still feel like you need your next 2 items, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that you can sit on 23k net worth and still be unhappy, but
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
holding the high ground, hoping that Falcons are going to overstep, but not the case. And even if Gyro were to do so, you have to get through the 2 lives with BKB and Satanic. Tall order. And now they're going to advance, but they're doing it together this time, so P-Vision have given up a bit of ground. Snake King going to lead the charge. A tough kill. Pike, Pipe, and Drums.
Now, one thing to consider is plenty of buybacks right now. For the side of P-Vision. Hook shot right now onto Snake King with a cookie to keep him alive. Satanic's already used the Blade Furies. He is now retreating. 9 Class is the first to die. Does have the buyback You see P-Vision want to continue, likely not, as no one going to push the waves. And he is going for a big ticket item into the Aghanim Scepter, the blue hole as we like to call it, DM. Let's take some damage, but we'll get back to base.
That Enchantress situation is the perfect example of just standard snaking.
Satanic. He spotted out the zip in. Gyro takes the brunt of the damage to start things out. Roche Banner applied. Only 2 hits away from dying, which would be pretty big. There's a fortification to start things out. No one zips in, gets it, and exits it very successfully. And now the creeps can die, but the tower will fall. Minute 40 on the Aegis. Falcons not having as easy of time going high ground as we saw in game number 2. Satanic extremely scary. Has 4K in the bank as well, so very close to his next item.
And no one could buy the full axe if he wants to take the risk and not have buyback, which...
Buyback Storm is so good, though.
It is. The axe could also lead to a big fight, though. You kind of feel like Falcons as heroes a lot of the time are kind of stacking on top of each other. 9 class.
Oh, Omni. Oh, that was a Swift Slash, actually. The Ghost Scepter comes out.
Yeah. I've got my eyes on Satanic's itemization. He hasn't changed it yet. You saw the Ench attempt. He doesn't feel like he can Omni-Slash because the kill takes too long. Ench is going to pike away. Maybe you jump over to another hero with Ghost Scepter and then you're just dead.
Yep, Skeeter going to secure the range barracks. Can they get the melee? 45 seconds on the Aegis right now. Homing missile, it will hit. He's going to take considerable damage, but there's a Fate's Edict. Mitigate the rest of the magic damage. Swift Slash. Skeeter. Oh, there's the epicenter. Burrow Strike combination from Malrine. Ghost Scepter's not going to help 9 class. First to fall. No one already popping the BKB. Applying some pressure out of the gyrocopter. 30 seconds on the Aegis. No creeps though, so backdoor protection is here. Do they have enough damage to actually get through this barracks? Finally, it comes to be. And Falcons gets their first barracks of the game.
Outworld Staff is just something else against Jug.
True.
It's such a hard counter. He Swift Slashes Skitter. Skitter presses 1 button and then it ends the Swift Slash or the Omni Slash if there's no secondary target. So as long as Gyro is separated from his teammates, if he can't die in a stun lock, he can always just bait Jug. True. Just waste out one of the abilities. An item that we generally see a lot of pros pick up in a lot of games, and a lot of the time, honestly, it feels like a little bit underwhelming. But against Jug, it's so easy to use correctly. I think part of what makes Outworld Staff interesting is the skill cap of it is very, very high. It's kind of like old Monkey King Mischief, where you're trying to dodge, you know, one attack at the perfect timing or whatever. Well, similar to Mischief in general, I should say. But yeah, against Jug, it's just obvious.
Yeah, having 3 is pretty nice for the Falcon side, have to say. They good RNG on the neutrals.
Refresher Phoenix.
Yes, that is a definite big ticket item. And no one actually opted to finish Parasma instead of going for the blue hole.
Okay. I think the call they made was we don't have enough damage to kill a single hero. We need the damage from Storm.
Yep, Swift Slash actually baits out the Outworld Staff as no one zips in, zips out.
He can't go on anyone. They have 2 good formation and good spacing here.
Epicenter, that's a lot of damage. Can they get the saves on the Satanic? Gets off the Omni Slash at the last moment. He's isolated for the rest of his team. No one pops the BKB on top of Snake. He's going to be the first to fall. Satanic in a lot of trouble. He has the false promise supply. Will attempt to get out. Mortimer's not going to reach him. Malrine's super low on HP. For all that, it was a 1-for-1 with a buyback coming out from Ducalis. Satanic back to relatively good HP levels. The zip from no one won't find 1 support. And Amara gets away safely.
That was such a heads-up play from Malrine, but just not quite enough. He manages to find the angle through the Jug and threatening Oracle in the backline at the same time with the Pango. So Ducalis has to ult himself, but Satanic does live through it. That time around, Descati made a big difference. I think he might have died with a Nullifier, for example, needed the extra tankiness.
A small little detail, obviously they have the tools to deal with the Omni Slash, but when they grouped up, the cleave is no joke on the Omni Slash. That was a lot of damage coming out from Satanic.
Part of why the Axe on Storm could be interesting too, but I understand no one's perspective of buying the Parasma, because you're kind of struggling to kill a singular target that's isolated, and that's what Falcons is taking advantage of. So if the Storm has that extra bit of output, perhaps you can bring down the first guy and break the fight open.
He's not far away already, so 3,500 gold in the bank. Of course, buyback is a very important thing to hold on to.
If Falcons were to find Ducalis now and kill him, it could end the game to kill the 5. Because I think the only reason P-Vision can defend in the fashion that they are is that there's constantly this false promise on backup for the Jug. Otherwise, you can just pile on him and kill him with everything you have, but they're unable to. Ducalis' buyback being forced there, though, should open up the map. Now you have to play exceptionally carefully as P-Vision. Tormentor will go to Skeeter.
Yeah, that's all 5 shards now for Falcons.
I don't know where I'm at right now with no one, if he should buy out or save buyback. I kind of feel like you have to all in and buy that Axe and hope for the best. Satanic is queuing up MKB in an attempt to try to deal more with the gyro. Guess you could make a case that gyro is not your primary target this game and you're trying to break open the fight by killing the other heroes, but again, the problem, the Ghost Scepters, they got 3 of them, and Ench has Outworld Staff. It's not easy out there. He's about to hit level 25, though.
Problem is, you don't really have a solution to the Outworld Staff at all, because Nullifier is not going to do anything. All you can do is stun lock.
Send an email to Gabe Noel. That's the best solution you have, is to try to make a case for it.
I have to say, the Outworld Staff, even though I thought it was going to be a terrible item in this patch, everybody's going for it. It's felt underwhelming, but against Jug,
it's just so good against Jug.
It's just a hard counter.
It's the best hero in the game to have it against. So,
top tower is under attack.
unsurprisingly,
that's why he hasn't been picked that much. Now we know.
It adds added to the pile of problems, right? There goes Roche.
Yep, another Roche for Falcons. Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, Roche banner.
Who do you give the shard to? Probably the Pango. Yep.
MKB is what Satanic went for.
And they already have a wave all the way down here, so I think this is just straight up to the high ground. Skitter is going to perfectly line this up with a level 25 as well, get the additional flak cannon attacks, or the cooldown rather. So now that's down to a 16-second cooldown. A lot of pressure about to be put here onto P-Vision. Can they hold? This
Lots
is
of buybacks available.
Biggest moment of the game. This is such a hard defense.
Oh, the force staff nicely done onto the gyrocopter. He's in a lot of trouble taking a full Omni Slash. Skeeter able to get the Outworld Staff though, and 9 class is the first to fall. Big Egg with the Sunray, but Skeeter is being able to heal through this quite easily as Malrine does get stunned by the Egg, and now gets cookied to the low ground. Falcons A-OK. Force the buyback on a 9 class, and now they can reset. Roche banner will be cleaned up. There's a damage rune in the bot side of the river. Not sure if they have vision there.
That was egg number 1 and a buyback on clock. So now both supports, really good targets for Falcons to take down.
And they will spot it. And they will bottle it from Malrine. So likely to wait for the Epicenter to get back. You got the Dazoon Blood right, by the way. I'm not sure if you mentioned that.
Luckily for you, I did not.
Extra AoE for Malrine. Probably the best tier 4 possible for this hero.
I think in this game it's the second best. I think the best one is Outworld Staff.
Yeah, maybe actually. You can't have
in general, yes, this is the best.
All right, well, no one. Yeah, definitely holding on to his money for this buyback, for this eventual push with this next 3 minutes that Falcons have to work with.
He got his 25 as well. P-Vision, despite being 27k down, are starting to have a lot of damage, as a matter of fact. So now Jug is almost 6 slotted. The Storm 25 is a massive improvement. You got 2 Supernovas. The main problem is that your supports offer so little. I mean, look at the pitiful net worths in this breakdown. It's kind of unreal just how far behind they are compared to their counterparts. So they don't offer that much. The cores, even with this deficit, I feel like can put up a fight, but can you protect the supports? If they die first, the game might just end. 25
there
as
it
well
is.
on Amar.
There it is. Aghanim Scepter for no one. Blue hole ready to go. He has 2,500 in the bank, so buyback still intact. And Skeeter now, they have the 1 lane. He's going to take the electric board. Has a lot of damage, actually. He's dead. That's life number 1. Falcons need to be ready. Rolling Thunder coming. Malrine misses the burrow strike. Gets the epicenter off though. Satanic easily be able to clear. It's a beautiful egg just in time. No what? They kill off the egg. Double kill for Skeeter. And now the pressure applied to Satanic. He gets off a big Omni Slash. Actually kills off Malrine on the other side of the screen. Somehow it's a huge blue hole onto 2. And somehow P-Vision is defending. Snake King goes down to the blade form as Amar, the last remaining member of Falcons, will TP out. Some way, somehow, P-Vision defend.
There's your damage.
That bounce on the Omni Slash was absurd. He doesn't have a blink dagger, so I thought for a second that he blinked after Omni Slashing. That was very fortuitous for Satanic.
I think seeing that, maybe no one should buy his shard too. Like just full on, you know, jump in, pop everything, just blast them before they can even react. That's scary stuff. I mean, look at this first kill.
Yeah, they kill him so fast.
This is without using Swift Slash. It's just attacks. I think Falcons just did not expect the damage to come out so fast. Malrine is stunning heroes that aren't in the game there.
They did kill off the egg really quickly, but the buyback obviously helping out big time. Look at this jump. Look at this jump. On all the creeps, they're fortified. That is crazy. And the blue hole to finish the job.
I will say, though, in this situation, Falcons did actually not use their outroll staffs all that well. Malrine used it outside of the Omnislash, and then when it came toward him in the end, he had it on cooldown. Trying to use it in anticipation, perhaps, of Satanic going for him, you have to hold it. You have to wait and try to clutch it up. But there's so much to keep track of in these fights. Got to be careful you don't waste it. But what a hold. P-Vision. Now Satanic is going to get that refresher soon. He has the gold for it. Might just synth his Ags first into a blessing. How much is he missing for that and buyback? It can't be more than like 2,000, which sounds like a lot, but really isn't at 48 minutes. It's quick to farm. This game is...
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a good one now.
This is pretty close, honestly. 16k lead, I think it's largely inconsequential because the 16k lead for the most part is sitting on the supports, and in spite of not having those big items on the supports, they're still getting their spells off every fight. Ducalis has good positioning. They get off every single hookshot cog combination. 9 class manages to find impact with very little.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And now if you're Falcons, do you understand the game state is the other thing. You're playing a lot on feel in these late game scenarios. You probably felt like you had a big lead. Now you lost a fight. What's the read? Is it we need to farm more? We have to get to our next set. We have to get Roche. And conversely for P-Vision, maybe you feel like, okay, we're actually strong enough to fight them head on. Now we're going to contest the next Roshan for once.
Who thinks P-Vision is going to go to the grand finals? All right. And how about Falcons? All right. Slightly Falcons favored, I'd say, in terms of crowd. But I agree. This is, I mean, the buyback for the Phoenix was a very big deal, but the game has slowed down dramatically now.
It feels like you can buy the time for the next buybacks now.
Yes.
Which is the big deal. Because you're looking at this Phoenix, and yes, there is room to grow, but essentially for the key part of this game, DM has everything he needs until the game is over. He has 2 Shivas, 2 refreshers, 2 ultis, and almost level 25. Everything after this, it's nice, but it's not necessary. Having Hex could be cool, but...
I mean, Aghanim Scepter is kind of crazy, isn't it?
It's also risky. You saw how quickly they killed the egg.
That's true.
You might not want to pull a Toronto, Tokyo. Of course, there's that very famous clip with Nightfall where basically killed him and lost the game.
That was rough.
That's one of those things that's not easy to bounce back from, but...
They're still teammates.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, so looking at Skeeter, I mean, I don't even know what you can do here. You replace your boots, I suppose. Looks like he's going for Manta style, so to try to mitigate a little bit of the Omni Slash.
Generate more targets for Jug.
All right, I know we're not there yet, but I have to ask a question. Tier 5 items, Do you keep the Outworld staff? I'm not kidding.
You get Helm of the Undying if you get off.
Well, okay. Well, sure. If you're going to get something completely broken, obviously.
Yeah. Maybe you replace it for Sister Shroud.
Oh, yeah. The classic.
I think it's better than some tier 5s in this game. But I would say, let's see. It's depending on the hero, you definitely want to get the Helm of the Undying, I think, on all of them over it.
Yep, of course.
Aside from that, Fallen Sky can effectively perform the same function, right? So that's also a nice replacement. Book of the Dead, more trash for Jog to jump on.
True.
I mean, you laugh, but he's queuing up Manta. That's the only reason.
That is true. Smokes on both sides. Invis for Malrine. Another rune about to come. It will be
Arcane.
No one. Arcane. Oh boy, he's gonna start this out right off the bat onto the Sand King. Sun Ray applied as well. Will burrow to the high ground. Gets cookied for safety's sake. And now, oh, the roll was actually very deep for Amar, but doesn't look like Falcons want to pursue. They have that mid lane as no one.
He's onto him.
He is, but he's getting low on mana right now. There's the epicenter burst right combination. Malrine coming in to get the bash as well. This is up there. There's no one. He zips away, but out of mana. Onto the high. The Mortimer's kisses, but the Fate's Edict will heal him. And now he is going to be A-OK. Can P-Vision now turn the tide onto Falcons instead? 9 class. Running up front, gets the cogs onto Snake King. Bounce left, right, and center. But Bambi gets away safely.
Oh, that was really close for no one. He gets saved by the Fate's Edict. He gets a big Lotus as well, if not 2. That transfusion really helping, but nobody dying in that exchange.
Amar with the bash into the abyss, though. The Fate's Edict supply, though. Now there's 3 members of P-Vision nearby. He uses the Swift Slash. Satanic still with his ult available. Has the Refresher as well. And they're going to back away. This is super tense. And now an Abyssal Blade finish from Malrine. They just want to bash Satanic.
It is so hard for Satanic to use his spells correctly. He's playing into, let's see how it's that, 3 Ghost Scepters, 2 Lotuses, and 3 Outworld Staffs. Like, how do you use your spells reliably unless they're used on a stunned target? The risk-reward.
Yeah, those Lotus Reflects can be
crazy.
brutal.
Now with the Refresh and the Blink, perhaps he can just brute force his way into it.
Roshan, a huge belch that everybody can hear as P-Vision attracted to the sound. Yeah, Battle Fury has been backpacked finally. As the Blink Dagger will eventually be a Swift Blink, but obviously wants to keep... Oh,
Trying for the rune here,
yeah,
Satanic.
It is a haste top, so nothing super consequential at this stage of the game. 3 gems in the game right now as well.
So it's 2 Abyssals as well on the Dire side. So 2 times the lockdown in attempts to kill Jug. Effectively, their entire itemization is against 1 hero.
That's true. They have Oracle, Syndra. They know the runes.
There's a lot to keep track of.
How dare you forget such a thing?
A lot to keep track of in Pro Dota. Well, you say, how did I forget? It was Jug who went for it.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the ironic part.
How did he forget?
55 minutes in, smoke from P-Vision. They scan out as well, so they know Falcon's location.
يريدون أخذ المعركة إلى منطقتهم.
Snake King, a very good frontliner for a support.
Yep. Feels like an item that we could have seen in this game was Wind Waker.
Yeah, for sure.
There has been 0 of them purchased yet. And I don't think you have to worry all that much about the Oracle Purge, because he's going to backline a lot on Ducalis. It's not easy to get in for the offensive Purge. But nobody's queuing it up. Jump in.
Oh, that's a big Omnisax. That's a lot of damage. Down goes Skeeter. Buys back, but there's the Abyssal Blade now onto the storm. They have to bash him again. No one is dead to Malrine now. Amar doing so much work in this fight. They're not going to buy back help onto Skeeter. Satanic in quite a bit of trouble. Will pop the Blade Fury, getting healed up. Will be able to get out of dodge as a result. They lose 2, buyback on 1. That was a huge kill on a Skeeter. Obviously has buyback available, but doesn't want to expend it unless he needs to. Can P-Vision try to force a fight? Crit
Honestly,
spotted high ground.
Icy Veins not buying back there. A really tense moment. I feel like a lot of players just insta-click the buyback and take the fight, but stays patient. However,
P-Vision
this would be a big
actually
grab.
get this. Yes. If it's scouted by Falcons, does Skeeter buy back? It's already at half health. They're running out of time here. There's a lot of shit inside Roche.
Yeah.
9 class.
Known to be
giving some
constipated.
vision. Oh yeah, he's big time. He's about to blow. Snake King gonna get some vision. Gonna get his heal off to start things out. Gets some vision, but Satanic gets the Roche. There's still goodies inside as the epicenter's about to come. I believe Amar with the rolling thunder stuck inside the cogs as DM pops the refresher. 9 class goes inside the pit. Rock uses the shard to get out. So in the end, they do get all the goodies from Roche as P-Vision, despite being down and out, it felt like early on. Now, quite possibly might be at an advantage despite being 20k down. Do have to worry about this mid lane though at all times.
Do not believe the graph. It is lying to you. This is not 84% dire.
Are you
I
kidding?
refuse to
Wow.
believe that they're a 6-1 favorite in this game. This feels like a 50-50 to me.
Man,
That is crazy.
maybe he has brain lag. A few minutes behind.
15 maybe, 20. Okay, no one is going to get the refresher shard from that Roche. So now, this next fight, the amount of artillery that P-Vision have is insane. It could become a little bit problematic here for Falcons to defend their primary targets at this point. When the damage is getting this crazy, you don't have a hardcore reliable save like the Oracle, Shadow Demon, you know, something like this. You've got a cookie, which is nice and all. But the damage is going to be quick, and this makes it even worse. Perfect rune for Satanic now.
Oh my god.
The amp damage. You've got to look for trouble here, surely. You've got 3 minutes on the Aegis, the double damage in your bottle.
Holy jeez.
You just need to see anyone and jump them with a stun, and they just die in the blink of an eye.
And Satanic running out of slots. Has the bottle, of course, that he will use soon enough. MKB or Manta will take its place. Still going for, I actually changes Abyssal to a Moon Shard.
Uh-oh, DM? Okay. No bash. That could have gone spicy.
Yeah,
Has the
DM.
travels 2 now, so he can deal with bottom and still connect to an eventual fight. And Juggernaut seems like a pretty safe travels 2 target in this game. He has not been burst really a single time. With the protection that they have from the Oracle, it's difficult for Falcons to pierce.
Final tier 2 of the, well actually no, there's a tier 2 top still, despite Falcons having the lane advantage right now.
They're spilling out bottom. And then TPing back. A strategic move like we've never seen before.
Unbelievable. We are 30 seconds away. I've been waiting the entire main event for this, Cinderin. The tier 5s are coming. Can we get some tier 5 cheers in the crowd?
Who loves Sister Shroud? Okay, good.
All right, very,
All right.
very educated crowd
That's
here.
all I wanted to hear. That's great.
Oh, come on.
Cinderin will not be happy with that until it is literally deleted. I know you.
That's the thing about Dota players, though. Everybody hates or dislikes something.
Skeeter,
'Cause the game has everything.
yeah. Skeeter buys the Midas so he can get a guaranteed neutral.
But fortunately, we love way more. Isn't that right, Shannon?
That's right.
We love the cart.
Oh man, let's
And
talk
the
about
love,
Centaur
the
cart
love
right
is
now.
bigger than anything you would dislike.
Grab ally and the cart.
Yep,
Man,
that's right.
neither of those heroes in this game, of course.
That doesn't matter.
All right, how many Helm of the Undyings are we gonna see?
Oh yeah, that's honestly, that might be the story of this late game. It's so good for both teams, shockingly. Yes, it is good.
Oh my
But
god.
against Jug.
Satanic gets Helm.
Yeah, but what do you
He's thinking about it.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, he goes for Stygian. Okay, very, very confident young man.
Audacious Stygian is a lot of damage.
It is.
It is a lot. Unrelenting Eye.
Ah, interesting. Fallen Sky for DM.
So more status resist for every enemy hero within 600 units, just trying to not get comboed, I suppose, on the Storm.
Yeah, I think Unrelenting Eye is definitely an underrated tier 5. It doesn't sound all that sexy, but it's got to be good. It's just Helm of the Undying, though. It's super crazy.
Okay, who can craft? Inch, Gyro, Sand King. Okay, all 5 of them on Falcons have crafts ready.
Do they keep the Outworld staff? Another Stygian. So Skeeter and Malrine go Stygian.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Amar cannot choose. He cannot choose the Helm. We see the book on Snap.
Good book. Good book.
Helm of the Undying on
Inch. All right.
Arguably, maybe the least impactful one they can get because the spells that Snaking offers after dying are.
Yeah, another Helm of the Undying for 9 class. So 2 supports have it.
This is a game where recrafting could become a real thing, though.
All full smoke from Falcons. They have 5 out of 5 tier 5s. They're not going to find any opening, though, unless they want to go straight for the base, which is obviously quite the risk. Oh, maybe an opening onto the Clockwork. Snaking going to be blocked off by the shards, though. BKB already popped from no one, applying all the pressure he can to Malrine, but he's going to be able to get out just fine. Satanic already used the false promise on him. And he's going to put down the healing ward. This feels like a win for Falcons in terms of that small engagement. 9 class, though, homing missile, swashbuckle to follow. That's a lot of damage from Amar. Using that ult as well, right on top of him. He's dead.
Oh my God.
Helmet dying is there, but Malrine gets off the Emissary and the Burrow Strike onto the Phoenix. Can they get the stun lock? Can they get the egg off? Yes, he does with the Sun Ray to follow. Do they have the damage to get through? Do they have the Reckless? Big slash from Satanic. The egg is killed off by Racco. The reflected Lotus. And Skeeter now, they have the numbers. They have the numbers onto Satanic, and he's dead. Has the buyback, though.
Oh my God, I think he
has another egg at his disposal.
I think he misclicked. He Swift Slashed the Lotus first, and then he Omni Slashed the same target. I think so, at least. I mean, it's hard to keep track of everything in those fights, but they both definitely got reflected back to back. Satanic stuck in an anime teamfight loop.
And
nobody died.
No one? Oh, no one. Able to zip out. They have the buyback on Satanic. They do not have one on 9 class, though. And Snaking likely to hold on to his, as this is a second lane now for Falcons. Not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. We are 64 minutes in. Amar looking for the Abyssal play, or actually the Basher since it's on cooldown. Still that tier 2 top, very pesky.
They're getting it at 64 minutes. They had map control for like 20 of these.
Yeah.
Just never went for it, but
Better
now
late
it's time
than
to
never.
strike. They really want this buyback out of Satanic.
Oh, 100%. They have the buyback. No, they get the dash. Oh my God, this is the dieback for DM. As no one now getting control. E-Blade applied. He's dead too. Has the buyback in tow. Satanic has to scurry back to base as the Rolling Thunder applying to the calls. With a fucking BKB on Oracle, for God's sake. It's 64 minutes in. No one gonna force everybody else back. The Falcons, they're actually gonna live on most of these members. Satanic looking for a target. E-Blade now. There's the Hex. There's the Malrine. He's gonna be able to get bashed though. Gets the burrow to the low ground. 9 class. Doesn't have hook shot up. Skeeter blocking the way. Gonna get blocked by the Cogs. 45k net worth lead for Falcons. Another E on this Proxys. 9 class onto the high ground. He's stuck up here now. Oh no, he's dead. Helm of the Undying activates as no one completely out of bed. He's gonna get oh my God. That's Satanic trying to get away. Only 2 members up. Actually, he's the lone member. Gets off the Omni Slash at the last moment, but the Ghost Blades are too much. He cannot get through them. No nullifier. And now trying to trickle back to his fountain. He's the last remaining member of P-Vision. Gets stunned up, but now in the fountain. Falcons have everybody alive. As now Satanic buying the BKB for one last hurrah. Goes in for the bash. That is a lot of damage, but now the E-Blade keeping him alive. Omni Slash reflected. He's going to be dead. Satanic is down and out. And that means Falcons will be going to the grand finals.
Oh my God.
Wow, what an
Holy
insane game. This turned out to be 45 minutes ago. You could have told me this would be 30 minutes long and I would believe you. But P-Vision, man.
سنعود. السمعين جون تعشوا ولا مازال؟ جون تعشوا؟ يعيط اليوم. كانت مباراة جيدة من طرف عربي. Okay. That was a good game. Good catch. وش ندير؟ نجيب قازوز ندير بارتي ورا. اعطيني دراهم. ها؟ ما تعطينيش دراهم؟ هاي خلاص. لا بقات لي 15,000. يوم مال. ينجي صبروا لي. قلبي نشوف هواك وين اداني ما نقدرلوش.
Felt that. In the royal catacombs.
What is the fuck?
Here, oh! As in, where?
Extreme Gaming with PB. Oh, wait.
Choice. I'm trying to think. So you know that the TA is safe lane. I think a different hero would pressure the TA more. But
I think for XG, Shaker goes mid, find the offlaner, right? Create tempo, like you're saying, pressure that TA. Shaker will go 50-50 with Storm. It's whatever, right? Storm will hit some creep, you play for Rune, you know, life goes on. But I think if you shut down the TA, if you bring life, and also it's an independent offlaner around minute 4-5, if things are to be tri-laning into Angemage, take some fight there, you can free up your support. So I think a sturdy offlaner is critical for XG.
I'm kind of trying to think of what that would be, because a lot of the heroes that I could think about that kind of like own TA quite hard in lane, or heroes I would like, they don't like Oracle too much. Like some, you know, Darkseer would be kind of cool. You get a lot of auras. It's cool stuff for you, but Oracle makes that a lot harder.
They do so long to ban out the Shrek.
I wonder if they could do something like take away one of the anti-mage counters by picking it themselves, because they get the pick out of the ban phase, right?
Like a Slardar?
Yeah, so instead of banning Slardar, you take Slardar. That could be something.
If they feel like that there's 3 heroes in total that really ruin you, and if you take those out, you secure his game, that's an option.
I'm gonna go for a hero suggestion, but please tell me if you don't like it. Don't just hype me up.
Will do.
Brewmaster XG. Chill off lane, you can be relatively independent, you just send in the clones, you kind of delay the game, you're anti-early game skirmish, you buy time. We don't see it too much, but with the Shaker, the Brew, so much team fight control, Arme will be the shining star of the draft eventually.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's like an OG counter into Oracle, because you find the backline, you can lift up the hero, you have like the overall rotation, and like you can collapse on the TA, which is kind of nice. I would not be opposed to that. Maybe it doesn't give you like a super cool lockdown into Storm, but maybe they don't really care because you've got the AM to cover that anyway later on in the game.
What if it's just an offlane shaker and they just want to pick some XM sniper or something ridiculous? Sure, he's playing against Storm, but sniper does beat up Storm in lane, you know, even though he gets jumped later, or a Death Prophet.
Oh, yeah, this guy is nasty.
Yeah,
I love this myth.
That is a great pick.
It gives so much like forward-thinking attitude, right? Like if it is DP to be versus Storm Spirit, Storm can never rotate. You hit Exorcism, you're going for that tower. Hoodwink and Oracle, when they rotate toward that mid lane as well, it's not going to feel that good into the Exorcism.
The silence is going to be incredibly valued too.
Yeah.
Just being able to run into this Oracle, silence him, make it so that Storm is threatened early on, and just the ability to kick Templar Assassin out of that safe lane early on is going to do so much, because you take away this tower from the TA, suddenly Anti-Mage is there with his helm, taking all of the farm in that area. TA is not ready to rotate to the other side of the map yet.
Yeah, I really, really love this pick. It just goes to show, like, there's a specific few players that will take completely different heroes. There's so few mid players that would even look or think about the Death Prophet here. Let's see, BB team. Just a classic old chill Sand King. You know, you get your offlaner, you get your blink stun. I will say, after XG banned out those two heroes, they should be quite happy to see a Sand King.
I don't mind the Sand King for the fact that Miro can go very quickly for Blink Dagger, and when XM's going towards hands with Exorcism, if you do get that blow up, if you do get that 100 to 0, it kind of buys time for you to then smoke up, go find an anti-mage, get a kill. But it is, if you miss that spell, if you don't hit that 100 to 0, you're gonna feel really bad into an anti-mage. It's like anti-mage versus Sand King, also a pretty good lane for the anti-mage.
Yeah, your lane is miserable against Sand King here. Like, you're putting him into a losing lane. You're basically saying that, okay, our supports are going to play with Storm Spirit. We know where the runes are spawning. Let's just throw a Sand King into the triangle and hope he catches up. That's kind of a tall ask to do this time around, because that triangle is going to be needed by the TA and not the Sand King if she gets her tower taken from her by the Death Prophet.
You guys are kind of painting a pretty grim picture for BB team, not gonna lie.
Zhao Wei has drafted a beautiful draft. It looks great, it looked amazing, and I'm not gonna try and hide the fact that I just love looking at their draft. But the thing with BB is, like, even if their drafts look weird or their laning looks weird, they always find these moments. So on paper, I don't see it happening, but fast forward 35 minutes, I'll be like, of course, they do that, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see, but draft-wise, I think, yeah, there's so many layers to XG's lineup.
I mean, the advantage in my mind that BB team should have is potentially some of the lanes, like if GPK lanes goes well, first Aegis should be theirs with the TA, but I'm on board. I think that XG found a really good way to slow down what BB team wants, so I feel like the director kind of cooked this game.
I think GPK has a lot on his shoulders. He's got to really pop off with his signature Storm Spirit, because this draft was crafted around enabling the Storm Spirit. So if he can get off to a good start, crush these lanes, get these pickoffs, early timings before anti-mage is too strong, that would be their way in.
But what's the solution if he can't leave his lane, because the moment he does, the Death Prophet pushes his tower? Do you just give up the tower and hope you get a better trade?
You can try to have someone else like pull the wave to delay it, or when XM makes this move into mid tower, just bring some heroes over, like be ready to make this move. T already mentioned Miro on the Sand King, maybe he can be freed up, he can just TP mid if you overstep. You gotta do some things, be creative. Yesterday against the Huskar, they didn't show.
Just shut down the Death Prophet, and then maybe there's a game play for BB.
Okay. We're gonna find out what's gonna happen in the first game of this elimination best of 3. Before we see the game, though, we're gonna head over to the stage where Tsunami is with Coach Bull.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am joined by Bulk of BB team again. Good to see you, dude. What you been up to for the last 4.5 hours?
Привет, Булк. Чем вы занимались последние, эдак, 4 часа?
Поели, отдохнули, посмотрели игры.
So, we ate some, we chilled some, we watched some Dota. That's it.
What a coincidence. That's the same thing I've been doing as well, except now you've got another stressful game ahead of you. This is the first time you've picked GPK Storm all tournament long, and then immediately they respond with an anti-mage. Were you expecting that in second phase, or maybe taken a little bit by surprise?
Вы впервые взяли Шторма. Удивлены ли вы их ответу в виде антимага, или вы ожидали его?
Да, мы не ожидали антимага.
Yes, we did not expect the anti-mage.
Now tell me, is he being serious? I feel like I'm sensing a bit of sarcasm here.
There is some sass in there.
Не услышал.
Он спрашивает.
Я не слышу нифига.
Вопрос в том, насколько серьезен был твой ответ.
Полностью серьезно. Мы не ждали антимага.
Well, I gotta trust you then, and if you were taken by surprise, let's see if your players were not. Bulk, let's see how you do in the second elimination series, and we pass it over to our casters for game number 1.
Thank you so much, Tsunami, and of course the lovely translations. Love to hear it.
Yes,
I cannot freaking wait for this series. It's top 4, man. We're here.
Yeah, we've been waiting. We got some game 3s.
Oh,
it's been a great day so far. I would like some more. Can we get another game 3, please?
Keep doing it.
Yeah, let's just do that. Okay.
I think that this is also one of the times when I'm watching these games and I'm out there and I think about, man, these guys have been here for a while. Like, we just did the interview, obviously, with Bulk. They were sitting and staying. But the other thing that I heard was that XG, throughout the entire duration of this time that they were hanging out here, after their series, they didn't leave. So they've just been waiting all day to see who their opponent's going to be.
Yeah, keep an eye on the game, see how everyone's doing, and you know, there were definitely some questions heading into some of those games for quite a while there. I wasn't sure who they were going to be facing either.
Oh no, I was like for sure that it was going to be Heroic facing off against them, but in the end it is BB team that end up taking it, and we're going to be facing off here in this one. And it's also a really interesting moment because you take a look at this matchup. BB team, P-Vision, you know, you're up there also with Falcons. These squads have been in the top 4 9 times throughout this entire year. For XG, it's only their second time in top 4. They're trying to upset the narrative.
Yeah, and so far already doing that very successfully, considering many of you out there, and maybe myself also, didn't even have them getting out of the road to the International, let alone putting on such an amazing performance earlier in this tournament and thus making it this far.
Well, it does mean that we're going to be treated to an absolute banger here, I am sure, as already a Death Prophet coming in mid. I was wondering...
That hurts.
Yeah, that was a nice...
little uphill miss there.
I was wondering if we were going to end up seeing the Shaker bit pushed over and towards mid, but deciding to put it on XM, a hero he is somewhat known for playing it on, and an XXS is going to be the big money maker on the Earthshaker this time around.
Yeah, XM is bringing out a few of the hits today, you know? We got the Sniper coming out here. Maybe the Viper later, perhaps, you know, if we really want some dirty XM. But speaking of the hits, speaking of signature heroes, I always say, if you're in trouble and GPK's on your team, you break that glass in case of emergency and you pick up the Storm Spirit.
He really is just a phenom on this one, and so far already taken a few hits from the Death Prophet, but you can see sitting pretty in the laning stage. Of course, the big question mark is going to be how do they deal with the elephant in the room? We haven't been talking about it yet. Ame on Anti-Mage in full anime mode here in top 4.
Yeah. Well, there'll be plenty of time to talk about him this game, I'm sure. One way or another, you know, either winning or losing, the game often comes down to a lot of conversations about what is Anti-Mage doing? As you are pinning a lot of your hopes on this hero, but it is certainly a favorite for Ame, so not too shocked to see.
هاي تعيط لك ويا مريومة وانتي بنت الحومة. هلو مرحبا بكم.
Out of exorcism.
And that was a big one. Pure's Courier goes down. It was a very tough situation there.
Thank you.
Or was that Ame? No, Ame's just coming on out to him. He's going to be fine.
I may play with
I think for me, speaking of someone else we haven't talked about this game, one of the best individual performances of today was Zinq on Snapfire earlier this morning. I feel like he absolutely dominated in one of those matches, so I'm sure he's feeling very good being back on this. And likewise, I mean, it was XXS as well, right, when he was playing on the Shaker. So they've already kind of warmed this up and are feeling very good about this.
Right. Well, and that's going to be the other thing to watch for is obviously when, you know, XG was playing before, they had that tough series against P-Vision and able to come together and put some solid results in this morning. But BB Team, a very different type of opponent to be playing up against, and want to see if they can sort of push this to the more late game scenarios. Obviously going to have really strong team fight around this Sand King too if Miero can get off to a hot start, and already you can see across the lanes they're eking out just a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I think this morning XXS had a like 10-minute blink. It was like right around the 10-minute mark. He busted it on off lane, which is just crazy. You can't really assume that you're going to get that again. Zinq also just had an insane amount of kills that game, so not off to such an explosive start in this one.
Well, still 0-0 at 5 minutes. And not a whole ton of roaming around. You got a freaking Oracle support here. The benefit, of course, is it does mean that more likely to be able to set up your Storm Spirit for good runes with that prognosticate.
Yes, very important thing to point out there. That innate is just crazy good on Storm Spirit. We're always talking about how runes run the Spirit heroes, and I would say that Storm Spirit is the most susceptible to losing runes and having a really bad early game. But here it is, the first exorcism forcing down this tower. They've got supports on each side. Save's trying to pull this off here, but like GPK's in the jungle doing stacks. He now returns, but this is
my god,
a lot of damage. I mean, it's a siege wave, and
yeah, 6 minutes, and XinQ making that move over to get the little shredder debuff on the minus armor, and look at that, a 6-minute mid tower gone.
Really, the only good news is that it was a shield rune that they couldn't contest during the exorcism, so GPK can take a slight Pyrrhic victory in that at the very least.
But that is going to really open up the map. And I think the biggest thing also that this Death Prophet is going to give you as we see those camps blocked out is this sort of like countdown easy timer to take buildings consistently, right? Every single time that ulti's up, going to be trying to make some moves with it.
Yeah, and one of the more important things too, as you heard the panel mention, was this idea of the Sand King relying on stacks this game. Already you can see not having an incredible lane, obviously, versus the Anti-Mage. It's hard to really bully a whole lot. Like, you're doing okay, but you know, you're not this dominating Sand King. You're hoping to get these stacks there. You might contest with the exorcisms.
Does have boots on XinQ and making his way over. Is he going to be able to get there in time? Oh, just barely. And Katomi going to be shut down from that one as he will be eventually brought down.
There it is.
A first blood drawn by XXS.
Oh man, if that body block had have worked, that would have been awesome.
Oh yeah.
Not quite able to do it there.
Dude, this crowd right now chomping at the bit to just get going. Honestly, I feel like they are prepared for this game to go wild in a few.
They're very organized. They have tools over there already, as you were mentioning.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah.
It was like a little brass plate they were hitting.
Getting the chanting organized here. Well, there is no agreement this time for 0 helms or anything, obviously, as it is finished up here for Ame. Our go-to build on this anti-mage this tournament.
As has happened time and again, and XM does not get the benefit of knowing where the rune is, so Storm bottles up the haste, and XM realizing it's going to be gone, but does have ulti ready. I want to see what XM decides to do with this. Is he going to play for a more farming-oriented gameplay, or is he going to try and sort of bully down these lanes?
I mean, it would be nice to just move towards your Shaker, I would think, you know? Try and take that top tower, make things a little bit more difficult up there for Pure. On the other hand, you could just say, hey, the lanes are going well. You're already just kind of chilling on the wave right now as XXS. Could wait to respond instead and just keep controlling mid. But the Ghost is starting to meander a little bit towards the north.
GPK.
X Nova's coming through the twin gate. All right, we got a plan forming here, perhaps.
But this is the other thing that you do have to be concerned about. A haste rune with the Storm Spirit could turn stuff south pretty quickly. And X Nova.
XM actually just goes straight back. He's like, there's waves coming in. That's not full commit, and X Nova just goes right back through the gate. I mean, they have this trap on there, which is really nice, of course, to keep an eye on these support rotations.
Burrow strike the helm, tries to do some damage.
Nice.
Was not able to get there in time to take over another one, so the gold is handed over. And while this is happening, while the Ancients were blocked, GPK was able to take out 2 triple stacks over in the jungle. So he is building up his own net worth to try and contend right now with that Death Prophet.
Yeah, unfortunately though, you know, trying to get your Galvanized going, those do come from kills alongside levels, and not able to get one with the haste rune is a little painful. Nero is calling for a defense here.
And thinking about it, this is a dangerous move to make with level 6 there. The cookie gets the stun, but it is going to be Bane in trouble. Now the turn on to Miro, but the save is there. Oh, false promise doing some work, but XM does have the ulti ready and just has to TP out with 1. Now Ame gonna chase down Katomi, find that finish, and will move immediately into the tower.
Yeah, not what they're really hoping for. You don't get a good initiation there. You get the save from the Oracle, very nicely done, at least to get Miro out, but there's no conversion there from GPK. They still get the tower knocked down, and now that's the mid-tier 1, the bottom tier 1 gone, and the classic Ame getting so much space.
Yeah, and on a hero that will make good use of it as well. Only 1 point up right now in that counterspell and ready to start working his way through the bottom of the map farming, and this is what you want to see for XXS. Will manage to do a nice little chunk of damage there and does have his Blink Dagger now done.
Man, this guy is crushing it on Shaker today. Actually ridiculous how fast he's getting these. All right, so at the very least, because he's farming up with the Echo Slam, of course, there's not going to be this like immediate movement. But when it's back up, I mean, you know, you got 4 points Aftershock. You're very happy to start making maneuvers across this map, and you got to imagine Pure is the prime target. Or I guess ending GPK's life would also be great here to try and start working on these galvanized charges, as he is going to get smoked up now by Save. Only has an illusion rune to work with this time.
Scan does connect though,
but
I know that Ame is here.
You know, I guess if Miro's here too. Okay.
Gonna try and make something happen. Sees Miro. Now Ame realizes that the jig is up.
Yeah, the spidey senses are tingling.
Do you really get caught? No. Blinks away. Ame, never in doubt.
Nah.
Does he lose the other creep though? He might just. XXS finishes off that camp and is going to head back home before getting ready for a smoke play, most likely. So, just about the 12-minute mark as we hear the crowd picking up again, trying to instill some hope.
Yep.
The team they're hoping is going to come away with the victory in this.
Again, another rune secured thanks to Oracle's passive. Or innate, rather, I should say.
And maybe looking for another go here onto Ame, but he is already backed away. Heading off to the other side, leaves his creep behind.
I mean, they're just, this is what I love about Death Prophet. I always love this hero because it just gives you such clear direction for your team.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the enemy team knows what you're going to do, sure, but it's so powerful that they have to be ready at the exact moment.
And they are not ready at all. Pure, in a world of hurt, will get saved for the moment with the false promise. And Katomi able to get there in time. Are they going to try and translate this into anything else, though? XM has Exorcism going, but having already used Kisses in the jump from XXS feels a little shaky.
I mean, there is still Echo, you know?
That's true.
They have to really fully commit for this. And okay, they are. Miro's coming through. He has his Blink Dagger. This could be a mistake from XG if they try and force this.
Oh, they saw for a second there, actually, onto Miro. And so the one left behind is going to be X Nova. Save picking up that kill. But everybody forced to the side of the map. And look who's down bottom. Yet again, Ame farming away on the anti-mage. Happy as a clam.
I think that was a good call from XG. Just cut your losses. Just get it there in that moment. You try and force that just because you popped Exorcism, and that's one of the easy mistakes you can make when you're running a Death Prophet lineup. Just accept that they were ready, right? They had the TP in there. They got the Oracle save. It was a nice play. Give them their opportunity there and just go back to farming elsewhere until the next Exorcism's up. Also have another smoke available here for X Nova, so we could see him getting active with XXS. And he's got about 1,000 gold to go for the shard too. And the next big power spike there on that shaker, and also a massive farming item as Here is just able to start whittling down this tower as Kataomi will stack some Ancients for him and just defend his presence here.
I mean, this tells you everything. Ame right now is under a ward, just farming, and there is no int to go on in and try and contest this.
Yeah, they're going to try and play their own game, right? They're going to hit their own very specific timing with these TA items into the Roach Pit, into the Tormentor.
Oh, Ame!
Okay, all right.
That was pretty sweet. That was good. I like that.
Oh, and as well. So, you know, they have to pick up a kill there. Save gonna grab that one.
So X Nova brought down again, just like before, in the top side of the map.
Let's see.
And XG not wanting to try and really put the pressure onto that top tier 1 tower. Content just continuing to farm. And you're working your way towards that Aghanim Scepter on the Death Prophet while still searching for a Battle Fury on AM.
They're scanning. They know he's around here. Of course, it could also just be the creep hero.
Blinks back. He's away.
Oh, save not connecting there. And of course, immediately unsummoning it by grabbing himself the Dark Troll Summoner for Ame.
I mean, this is the other thing is that, like, even any of these little plays that you make for BB, it's very possible that you just, like, use up your mana pool if you pressure too far on Storm and then just explode on a mana void.
This ward here.
Yeah, this could make a big difference.
That sentry is going to catch if they check that high ground there.
They do see that one. Do they see the high ground, though? It doesn't look like they're going to drop down any vision.
I imagine a courier is probably coming.
Ame, do they want to try and go onto him? Forward, Burrow Strike, Bushwhack, is it enough? Yes! BB team managed to find the kill onto Ame.
Yeah, great vision. That's what it comes down to. And
now?
GBK, I mean, I wonder where the rune is.
XM, they set up. XXS doesn't manage to quite find it, or oh, he gets the regen stolen away.
Yeah, XXS steals it right from under his nose. Barely able to survive there. Katomi, of course, ready with the ulti, but hoping to not have to use it. And Ame still dead from there, 5 seconds here. And that's another exorcism that is not progressing the state of the game in a positive way for you as we get closer and closer to this timing that BB team are trying to hit. It'll be the Deso, maybe waiting for the shard a little bit there, but mostly just like Deso into Tormentor, into TA shard, into Roche, use the Aegis as your defensive tool, go forward, right? Yeah, talk about Death Prophet giving you direction in terms of being kind of a laid out plan for how the team's going to play. You can argue that a TA lineup is very similar in that regard.
And the vision in this area, Xnova is going to throw his body at him, spot save, and they just back away. I mean, this is really, really good positioning and just being a bully on the map, making things uncomfortable.
Yeah, this ward's been really bad for them. They're going to find it now, though. And yeah, Xnova is like, dude, they got a ward here for sure. So he throws his courier up.
Do not know if they'll find that other one that they placed down bottom, and I believe Save can go for the immediate D ward if they feel so inclined.
Yeah, a bit of a sneaky one there.
Battle Fury done for Ame. After the Helm is going to back out and try and farm in the safer places on this map. BB team in the meantime, smoke up in mid.
And they really feel like they have the tempo in this one. Like I just don't think, I don't think XG have much more to give, right? The Ame's a little bit behind. They haven't been finding these smokes with XXS or getting out aggressively on the map, so they're still very good at counter initiation for sure. But I think it's going to be BB team pushing here.
Xnova breaks the smoke. And so every time one of these jumps happens, they end up getting punished as they find Miero. Miero in trouble, just going to get gripped after the fact. Sometimes it's better to play defense than offense.
That's what it seems to be here. I think they were just sacrificing Miero because they knew the rune was bottom. Yeah, GBK's just sending them in, but trust me, it'll be worth it, man. I'll get an arcane rune. It's going to be awesome.
AM game if he can hit his timings, because obviously we know the TA timings of the Deso and everything else. What about Ame in this game?
Oh yeah, he's going to show up eventually. If it happens, it's going to be great for XG. There's a reason they're going for the Anti-Mage, right? It just makes it such a hard game for GBK. He's played a very specific way. He does have his BKB finish, so he is respecting the very possible facts that can happen in this one versus the Anti-Mage. He knows he kind of needs it, and he also knows his role, right? Sometimes a Storm, you got to carry a little bit. He's got a TA.
Yeah.
So she's got that mobility to jump in with you. You just need to make sure that you're getting the grabs and you're able to get multiple moves through the fight to give this good vision for the TA to perform the task that she's trying to do.
Well, tier 1 tower goes down in the top lane as Pure come and invades that Ancients area. But
are they going to try and get mid before they get Tormentor?
It looks like it might be happening.
Yeah. All right. I mean, they feel pretty confident right now.
And on the side of XG, being somewhat willing to step on over and contest this for a moment. The fissure connects. Pure will stick around and get the last hit on the tower.
All right, any smokes? Who's got the smoke? All right, Xinqiu's got one. So are they going to smoke up and immediately run to the Tormentor? That's the question for me here. Because you've got great team fight, right? You have Exorcism up. You have the Ags on Death Prophet. This is your fight, right? This is before the BKB. This is before the Aegis.
Ame is underneath a ward here, so if he's coming through, but the rest of the squad can start out that fight. All right, Ame's not showing up.
Don't worry,
Ame's not coming. That guy is farming.
I mean, they're making their way here. This is a big dedicated maneuver, but it's a TA. It is gone.
It happens so quickly.
The kisses?
The kisses, trying to find a snipe now on to Save, hiding over to the side. Katomi gonna get initiated upon and almost enough damage. Yes, he's gone. Can they do anything more after the fact? Epicenter out, but the big Echo Slam lands. Miero is out of here. Follow up, Aftershocks.
Pure still sticking into it.
Trying to do what he can, but Xnova is there. He manages to blink away just before a grip comes out. And slow is there. Bushwhack at the ready, needs to dodge away. Not gonna happen. Xinqiu also gonna be going into the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, it looked all right for a moment there, didn't it? You know, you get this kill on the Miero, you're like, okay, this was kind of worth it. They also did get the buyback there on Kanomi, so.
Right.
something there. It is a net worth gain technically for them, but of course, you know, the Tormentor goes the way of save, and they're still in a good position to make their way towards the Roche here. Hurricane Pike as well, finished for Pure. So that's going to really be quite annoying for this DP in these fights.
It is very much a Ame PvE for the moment, and then throw bodies to try and slow things down as much as possible. You know the way that XG are trying to go. The question is, are BB team building up enough of a lead right now to sort of mitigate things for when the anti-mage comes online?
Yeah, it's kind of annoying when your carries and heroes, you know.
Yes.
It's a bit of a tough one.
It's the innate.
You're not wrong there.
TA is very strong.
Snova getting some good wards down around the map, but it is an Aghanim Scepter now completed for the Sand King.
God, they have so much damage.
Yeah, they hit hard.
And they, like, you're not going to have an aura hero, right? Like, you've got, I mean, I guess technically sometimes DP, but not happening in this game.
Oh, no.
Just going from that Ags into the BKB. Now considering a Ghost and a Plate Mail.
Ooh, Ame just barely getting out of that one. Miero's still on the hunt, but chasing an anti-mage is not really going to put together good results.
No, and of course, they are largely magical damage outside of the TA, but we do have that break. So if Save gets the right shot, they can still explode Ame.
Manta done to try and match the tempo. Is underneath a trap right now, though. Sees the silence now onto the Hoodwink, who backs away under the Glimmer Cape. XXS scouting things out. Pure is there. Fissure not going to connect. BKB out from GPK. X-Nova trying to stay alive. XM low HP. Pure now getting hit by the kisses, and Ame right on top of, but the save at the last second. Will it be enough though with the Echo Slam to combo it out? They use so much damage, and Pure is able to survive through it. But the cookie to back away, and XXS chased after by GPK with just the smallest amount of mana in the world, but the hits, they come out from Pure as he managed to find the Hurricane Pike and not quickly enough able to dodge in the fog.
Oh my god, it's so tough for the DP to deal with. Has a Plate Mail to try and sustain, but at this point in the game, like, you're just trying to like stay in these fights and use your ulti, use this Aghanim Scepter, and it just doesn't feel great.
You saw right there at the end too, the Mana Void just not able to hit in time, as right on point was the Oracle there.
If the Death Prophet had
Ame's going to try and find his own answers here. Try and just keep moving up the charts here. He's currently considering a butterfly perhaps, but to no surprise at all, they make their way into the Roche Pit here. So much knowledge with this lineup, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's really, it's the new Tide TA. It's just Oracle TA. It gives you everything. You know where runes are, you know where Roche is. When it's popping up, it's very good.
Look at this. Next up, GPK is also queuing a Lincoln Sphere. So having more answers there for the Mana Void.
Yeah, the Mana Void. Also, I mean, just a grip, right? Like, yeah. It's super great. If you're going for this BKB, immediately X-Number says, okay, well, Storm needs to jump in and initiate. I'll just target the Storm, and now BKB and Lincolns, and got yourselves a problem. And again, it just comes back to the freedom that you're getting on this Storm because you have this TA. Like, you are just a playmaker on this Storm.
Miro, does he decide to go in there? XM, they find him. Rest of the team a little ways away. The punches, the damage from the Aghanim Scepter, it's enough. Katomi just a little bit late on that one. So Miero giving up a very important kill there. This is your sort of timing push, and if they smoke up and try and fight right now, oh, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, they have Echo Slam here too. I mean, if they could just bring Ame as well. Trying to make his way, but there's so much vision here too, right?
Oh, and Ame, does he show on this creep wave? Understanding the danger, he will back out.
He sends in one illusion. He's baiting a bit here, but they don't fall for it.
But that death on Miero, I mean, this could have very easily been tier 2 towers gone.
It's tactical, you know, it's just him and Kataomi. They're the only ones dying. Right? Together, they are the 7 kills of XG. Everyone else is deathless.
Bit of a tough one for the Sand King, who does still have that Blink Aghanim's done and is working towards that BKB.
He's taunting. He's taking it in stride, you know?
That's true.
He's all right with it.
So now, with still 3.5 minutes left on Aegis, You got to imagine that BB team will still try and take advantage of this window to put the pressure on. Success getting set up in the tier 2 tower on the top side. Just trying to delay things.
I think this is their best chance at a fight because
Jumps. Ame right on top. Pure in trouble, but the save. The bushwhack is there, and he's in trouble. Ame, but the nightmare save. Can they keep him alive? Almost. Yes, he's out of there. Unreal.
Oracle.
It took every single thing to keep him alive, but they did it. Ame survives through that, and now an attempt at Pure. They're going to go in with Miero, but I don't know, this fight already feels a little bit lost unless they can salvage this Burrow Strike off the mark, and now Nightmare pulls him back in. The cookie is out. Oh no, Miero, not like this. The false promise is there, but he's already taking so much damage. They lose the Oracle. They're gonna lose the Sand King, maybe?
No, wait for now.
Oh, he's trying to get out of there. Miero glimmer caped. Ame's still on the hunt. They hide off to the side and, well, see the Sandstorm fissure out. Miero in trouble and gone.
An Ob sentry in the spot you try to flee to. He does notice it thanks to his own sentry that's down, but it's not gonna help him now as he's certifiably dead. And what I was about to say, as they jumped in there, that was the best time to fight because he was just a couple hundred gold away from that Blink Dagger on Oracle. And if you have that Blink Dagger there, it breaks that whole initiation.
Such a big moment in this game. You go from Aegis wanting to push tier 2 towers, Sand King dies mid, then you try and push top, they all die there too.
And that's, I mean, it's such an important Aegis that it's supposed to be at least one tier 2, if not multiple, but that Aegis on this lineup. That is certainly the goal. But XG, they just spot a little weakness there, noticing that, you know, I don't think they're quite tight enough right now. I don't think they have the defense for this pure TA at the moment, and they just quickly jump on him. A great TP in from Ame to start that off.
And working towards that butterfly. 28 minutes in, the Wisdoms are around. And for BB team, I mean, you still have an incredibly farmed TA. She's top net worth by 3,000 over this anti-mage. You still have so much physical damage that, as we saw right before that, he can have trouble dealing with. But do you feel confident enough now to try and make some solid move? Look at this, its damage is nothing on the AM. That's probably going to change soon.
Yeah, he's certainly hoping so. I mean, Ame is almost into the butterfly. It'll be a bit of a small window before the MKB appears, but if he's forced to go over this MKB first on Pure, that also means he's still not getting in towards a BKB.
Right.
Which, I mean, there is a lot of just random magic damage and control in these fights, so it's a pretty hazardous game to not have a BKB, but of course that's because he is an Oracle, so he's counting on Kataomi to make up for the fact that he does not want to buy this BKB.
Kataomi gonna be the one to watch for. And now with the Blink Dagger, like you mentioned, most fights, Pure is going to be able to be saved.
Yeah, you got to turn into a bit of a tree and protector when you're an Oracle with the Blink, right? Just become one with the trees, okay? You got to know all your little nooks and crannies that hide the vision, where your opponents can't see you, and you're not going to get randomly fissured into Enchant Totem and chain stunned into a kill or something.
The one thing that is a little bit concerning, though, is that if you do manage to burn all of TA's mana, that's where you can run into some serious issues.
That's true. She does rely on that for a lot of her shenanigans, doesn't she?
So if Kataomi is a little bit late to get in there in time, could be an issue for Pure, but we will see. As XG still feeling comfortable, not really risking much in this game. They're farming out waves, shoving them out when they need to, and trying to take it to the late game.
Yeah, I was concerned about the lack of auras that could be coming out here, but as we get later and later, you know, XM gets over that hill, can get into the Shiva's Guard. Great item on this hero. Very helpful against everything that you've seen on the side of BB team. That'll be a very good helper. And then, of course, we start getting into this Refresher Shaker, which has just looked so nasty at the main event.
It's been nuts. Well, and you can see now also XG at this 30-minute mark, they're going to head on up and try and find a Tormentor of their own. And at the moment, BB are not in the area to come and contest this. So this one should be a freebie. Although, I wonder if they feel a little bit scared of taking it, not seeing anybody. They're just going to go right in. So Tormentor for X Nova.
Yeah, they scan around them just to see if they're safe and feeling all right.
And a very even game.
You can see Save here. It's queuing up the sight device, thinking, you know,
ooh,
that's a support player that's not feeling the game. They're not feeling their teammates in the game. When you're behind sight at this point, it's like, all right, I'll put it upon my shoulders, I suppose.
Well, also on Hoodwink taking that greedy enchantment too, so less damage from the right clicks and hitting creeps, but does get the GPM bonus. Gem done on Death Prophet. Trying to take away this vision from the traps and everything else, but XM still a little ways away from finishing that Ghost Scepter. They're pinging him out, looking to find XM. Drop the trap, back away, bushwhack there, hits but the dodge! And XM gets the BKB off.
That was nice. X-Nova, well positioned. I mean, he saw it coming.
Yeah. Unfortunate they had to use the BKB charge there for that.
That's true. I mean, perhaps that could open something up for the Roche. I mean, I guess they know, right? So they're going to know if it opens up for the Roche. We don't.
Again, that entire side of the map pretty well held by BB. Traps all over the place. They've got sentries down too. You can see invis heroes if they're passing by. Just a solid wall that's all over near that Roche pit.
You're almost 6 slots.
And it's actually only going to be a minute away, so they should get it on Radiant's side.
Yeah, if they can just obviously take note of that, thanks to having TA. Again, the N8 lets you know when Roche is going to spawn, so they want to just really control this bottom wave. Save's already on it. Keep the mid pushed out. They have Templar Assassin with the traps, which can be very helpful for this as well. Even if you don't have a Helm of the Dominator creep, there are other ways to push waves, it turns out.
A few of them at the very least.
Ame taking the more classic approach to the Helm of the Dominator, just as the wolf following him everywhere now.
Is sort of near the Storm Spirit, while Katomi is going to back out after being spotted by the Bane.
You know, 10 years ago, carry players just bought a Helm and all the creep did was stack Ancients. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That's all it did. It just sat in the Ancients stacked the whole time.
It'd take the range creep. So now, as Roche is capable of respawning, XM was stepping over here and trying to make a little bit of a move, and they're going to smoke up as 4.
Oh, clearly hacking here. They also know the Roche timer somehow.
And the ping is for the TA. Do they want to jump? There are people right behind her.
Jeez, Kataomi must be just sweating buckets right now, man. Like, don't get caught. Don't get
caught. Not afford to get caught. The jump in, Cookie. GPK not wanting to get stunned by that one. They're throwing in the anti-main illusions to start to burn GPK's mana. That is so frustrating to play against, and now they manage to get away from the bushwhack, and GPK is completely out of mana for this fight.
All right, that's not good.
In and try and do this right now. I mean, he does have bottle, so he can bottle back up for a little bit.
It's not a lot, though. You know, it's not great.
No.
Roche is going to roar, let him know what's happening. It's an amplified damage rune. I mean, it's the rare time the GPK doesn't get the rune because it's Roche time, so they're trying to help Pure with this.
Miro hunting, ready to jump. They see him there, but he doesn't decide to go. Could have made that move. They take out the ward, removing vision.
Oh, this is so interesting because like, a split fight is quite bad for XG in some ways. Like when you have this enchant totem and the way the Death Robber wants to fight.
Kisses going in. The Roche backs out, starts heading this direction. The Roche is low enough now, and it's going to start heading up to the north. BB team are in a weird spot for this. I wonder, could he have just exorcismed right now and stay mid?
And just follow,
follow Roche?
Walk the Roche?
I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to trying
to get a nice ward here. Give him good vision for this fight. That's a brilliant place to put this right now. Taking good advantage. Immediately pinged.
Yes, they know.
Kataomi's on it.
Kataomi knows exactly what's going on. Wait, no, he does find it.
No, he sees it.
Yeah, they get it. He does show for a moment, but there's nobody nearby. X-Nova caught. There it is. Fissure, the Cookie to the far side. He's in trouble, dead. X-Nova does have buyback, uses it immediately. Success thinking about jumping to the low ground. Miro, no more BKB, has to burrow strike to get away. Now XM has used the exorcism. They're going